Kingsville County, down in Kingsville, down by the King Ranch. I interviewed the city manager in Kingsville. I interviewed the San Antonio police chief and others, and they were 50-50 split. Thomas Sanchez had been in Army intelligence in Vietnam. The Army came to him and said, we want to covertly lease buildings in your town. This is 1999. And we want to blow them up. And he said, are you kidding? In the middle of the town of more than 10,000 people next to Casa Ricarda Nursing Home? No. And they said it's national security. And they went above him to the city manager and the county commissioners and got it done. They practiced taking over the Corpus Christi courthouse. This was in the news. Unannounced, though. And dozens of black helicopters come in, Delta Force, Night Stalkers, Fort Campbell, Kentucky, piloting them. Sanchez tried to say no. Chief of Police San Antonio tried to say no. They came to his office with bags of money, hundreds of thousands of dollars, saying, work with us, you can have this money. He'd been in the Army. He said, this is illegal. This is bribery. Get out of here. They went and paid off other city officials, and it happened. And that made the Associated Press. The word bribes is in there. Now, I'm no genius. We're going to you in a moment, John, so stay there. I want to talk to you. But I'd studied enough history and read enough military history books, because I found them very informative when I was a teenager and in college, to know that when you've got covert black ops making black bag payments to city leaders, and then you find out they went ahead and admitted to Sanchez, oh, yeah, this is for martial law drills under presidential decision directives. I went to San Antonio. They went ahead and did the drill. And we had military police, this was in WorldNet Daily, come up and confiscate our videotape. Mike Hansen started arguing with them. One of them pulled a sidearm out and said, don't resist me. Now, that is America. I'm not the enemy. I'm not Al-Qaeda. Now, I've been to urban warfare drills all over the country since then. We've had, this is in Police State 2000, in Hebron, Maryland, the police chief let the Marines train to take over the city. They had Boy Scouts in white T-shirts riding around in a gun confiscation drill, quote, fighting American militia. That was 1998. What happened in February of this year in Arcadia, Iowa? It was in the local paper. The sergeant saying, yeah, we're doing a drill. We're a gun dealer selling guns illegally here in the town, and we go door to door and ask you to let us search your home and search your cupboards for illegal weapons. Now, that's to acclimate the police, the military, and the locals. There's New York Times. Scouts train to fight terrorists and more. Second paragraph of the article states they're training to take on disgruntled veterans who won't turn their guns in. Read the stinking article. Now, mid-level officers aren't told all of this. But this is what the training is for. Now, I'm going to go back to John. John, whenever I talked to the police chief of Alice, he was a former DEA agent, he said, yes, there were foreign troops in the town in the drill, but I'm not at liberty to give you operational procedure for security reasons. See, the foreign Czech Republic troops, we found out, they could train in America terrorizing people, and under NLE 09, they now admit it's to use foreign military in America. That's FEMA.gov. They can train to do that, but we are the enemy, so we can't know. And I always could report to you we were the enemy, but now we have the DHS report. Now we have the Homeland Security report that we broke, that was given to us by law enforcement, federal and state troopers and then feds. We can now talk about this because it's now mainstream media in everyone's face, and we now know it is veterans, gun owners, conservatives, people that want us out of the UN. We the people, Declaration of Independence, we the people that are defending the Bill of Rights and Constitution and Declaration of Independence are saying no to the end of our liberty, the end of our freedom. And if that isn't what our military is for, to defend the republic, what is it for? But John, closing comments on that, and I do want to ask you, are you You said rolling out with police. Is that rolling out off base? Because it's been in the news in California. Marines do go off base and aid the police. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. That is correct. Our military police handles a large section of the Interstate 5 freeway that runs parallel to Camp Pendleton, and military police does tons of training every year with state and local agencies, San Diego PD, all that stuff, LAPD. So it is being done. It's just never really reported. So it's under federal agreement with these agencies. But like I also said, and we have tons of foreign military all over Camp Pendleton all the time. We get the Koreans that do regular training down there. I've personally trained with some foreign military units who I won't name, but as part of some of our urban warfare stuff that we do.
And that's one thing if it's for offshore use, but they're more and more admitting, like when I went to urban warfare drill in '99 in Oakland, California, the Marines there admitted, including Colonel Love, that this could be foreign use or domestic use, and they had foreign troops with them there. And I just want to expand on that and point out, do the Marines in your unit, are they aware of this as a conditioning process to be deployed on a wider and wider field in the U.S.? I mean, do they ask why at the Kentucky Derby regular Army run out on the field with sidearms to run security?
Not as much as you would hope. I've been trying to put out as quietly as possible, put the word out to the people in my unit that I have the most direct contact with in a leadership position as much as I can. And a lot of them are starting to go, oh, my God, we had no idea. And looking at this, and I really wanted to thank you again for putting out your video, the Follow the Republic, because that's what I've been using, and I've put it out to as many people as I can quietly on the active duty side, and got nothing but positive feedback. They all said, hey, if you talk to this guy, tell him thank you very much. And we are going to uphold. There's many of us we're going to sit here and uphold the Constitution that we swore to defend, that we swore an oath, that I swore an oath twice, because I re-enlisted, and that's what we're here to do. And if that crazy order comes down, I know people right now that are saying there's no way I'm going to start rounding people up. I know guys that have 4 or 5 years left to serve, and they're going.
Well, here's the good news. Here's the good news. That's not going to happen because you're there, and that's why the globalists are so angry. That's why they're creating a new domestic military force just as big and just as strong as our military, being set up by the Department of Education and by the FBI, filled with big city corruption types. Are you guys aware of that going on?
Very slightly. I've heard very, very limited information in my unit in reference to upcoming operational stuff, working interagency with other elements of federal government, things like that.
Yeah, it's totally illegal, and we've had Judge Advocate General after Judge Advocate General on to explain. The media says Posse Comitatus is gone. It is not gone. They've just blown big criminal holes in it. And we can't just sit here and say no, because they're going to then bring in the illegal aliens, the foreigners, the criminals. I know the Marine Corps doesn't have too many, but the Army does, and replace the good men and women with them. But thank God there are good people in the military right now. But you were saying when I cut you off that they're saying if that order comes down for gun confiscation, you're not going along with it.
Yeah, most of the guys that I work with on my side are all we're all gun owners. I mean, I'm gun owner. We all have served time in either Iraq or Afghanistan. I did 2 years in Iraq on the ground, and I at some point you have to draw the line. At some point you have to say, this is insane. We're not doing this. This is not America. This is not what we swore to do in our oath of allegiance.
Well, exactly. And the next time they try to court-martial somebody, if half of the unit stood up and then more stood up, they would back off. And that's happened a bunch of times. But they love to take one person and try to destroy them. But that individual who they court-martialed for saying he wouldn't violate the Constitution, he's a hero. He's like somebody saying no to Hitler, no to Stalin, no to Mao. But again, it's not Obama. He's just a front man, an actor reading a teleprompter. It's the offshore banks engaged in treason. That is who you're criticizing. And I just commend you, John, and I want to thank you and the good men and women in the Marine Corps. We know you're the salt of the earth. We know even 2 years ago, 70+% of all military contributions didn't go to John McCain, didn't go to any of the Democratic candidates, didn't go to Barack Obama. They went to Congressman Ron Paul. And so the government knows that the military, by and large, is awake and are good people. And if you would have said yes to all this treason, you would have been promoted. And if you haven't seen 9/11, The Road to Tyranny,